and talking about Nazi stuff on Reddit. You know, not owning any, I mean, except for all those things. Great guy. Democrats have left themselves no room. They have absolutely boxed themselves in. And I am here for it. Oh my gosh, it just makes me so happy. It's just the elation. But Hunter Biden is like the hair in your shower drain if all of a sudden, like in a very Howl's Moving Castle kind of way, it developed eyes and started talking to you from the floor of the shower. Like, hey, because I just get that vibe from him. I know I'm really painting a picture for you that you're like, wow, Dana, but it's Friday also. And it's Hunter Biden, really. So I can't imagine, would they just, you know what their campaign favors would be? Because, you know, when you go to like these campaign events, they got these like tchotchkes, right? They got like little keychains and they got free pens and they got magnets. With him, I think you'd get a little, what do they call the little baggies of Coke? What do they call those things? Or crack? Because Coke is different from, I don't know my drugs. Somebody needs to explain the difference between, Coke and crack. Isn't crack for poor people and Coke for rich people?
I think you would just call it a dime bag. Everybody understands.
Like,
I don't know.
Really,
it
like
just
Pantera.
seems like that would be a small.
Dime bag Daryl, yeah.
Yes.
All right. I just thought that was for other drugs and not that. Okay. So you would get that with like the Newsom Biden thing on it. You could have that. Or probably an adult toy. Maybe that would be the thing. I don't know. Or a gun. Like here's the gun with Biden Newsom on it, or Newsom Biden on it, that you can discard in the nearest trash can across from school, just like Hunter. I'm just saying. He's not a threat, that's why. But here's why it's kind of stupid for Newsom to do this. Newsom doesn't have the best political acumen, but he can be slick with messaging, but he doesn't have the best political acumen. By flirting around with that guy, he makes himself look like a less serious candidate. Like he doesn't, I know we don't like him, but I'm just telling you, this is why he makes stupid decisions and he makes dumb mistakes. The Democrat Party desperately needs someone to look like the adult in the room. And him doing that, he takes himself out of contention. Because Democrats don't even look at Hunter Biden seriously. They don't think he's a serious person. They don't look at him seriously. So it kind of makes him look dumb. It's like he's cheapening himself. That's why, you know, on the right, we mock these people who talk to these woke Rikers on their podcast, because you're cheapening. You look like a desperate click whore. You're cheapening yourself by doing this. You know what I mean? It's like Vance going on The View. It cheapens you to go on The View. Why are you going on The View? You know what you're going to get. We got a lot more on the way. Second hour. Don't go anywhere.
1450 The Ticket.
My friend Ed Larkin, the good folks at Rose Automotive, have a big announcement to make. They are now the proud owners of Larkin Cobb Chevrolet Buick GMC in Eaton, Ohio. Larkin Cobb can handle all your Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC needs. Go see my friends at 500 East Main Street in downtown Eaton, a short drive from Dayton, Cincinnati, and Richmond, Indiana. My friends from Rose Automotive are thrilled to be serving the Eaton market and can't wait to help you into your next Chevrolet, Buick, or GMC. Larkin Cobb, drive the extra 20 to save plenty.
Have you recently opened a brand new business and want to get the word out that you're open? Have an existing business and looking to increase profitability? Or are you looking to staff your new or existing business with employees? This is where WMOH Radio can be of help to you. Advertise your business to reach WMOH Radio's local and loyal listeners with your message that your business is open and ready to serve or looking for workers. Give us a call, 513-863-1111, and let us put the power of locally owned and operated 1450 WMOH Radio go to work for you.
This is your ticket to Miami University Sports. WMOH, Hamilton, Fairfield, Westchester, Cincinnati. 1450 The Ticket.
Breaking news at Town Hall. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Today is the day that a key U.S. government surveillance program that could be beneficial in the war against terror, but has some concerns about domestic surveillance, is all set to expire.
The surveillance tool, seen as vital in preventing terror attacks and catching foreign spies, is set to expire after congressional efforts to temporarily extend it failed in bipartisan fashion. Friday's expiration would be a significant lapse for the law known as Section 702. It's unclear how soon lawmakers will be able to revive the spy program. That's even after President Donald Trump said he'll nominate a new national intelligence director who's more palatable to both Republicans and Democrats than his initial pick. Still, there may not be an immediate drop-off, given that a court order from March authorized these government surveillance powers to remain in effect for another year. Bernie Bennett reporting.
Also at townhall.com, Ed Donahue reports on another indication from the White House that the war with Iran could be coming to a close.
The president has said a deal would be done quickly before. Why is this different?
Because they've taken a pounding. They've taken a pounding like very few people could take.
The president talked about the high price of oil and gas because of the closure of the Strait of Hormuz.
When oil comes down, everything else comes down. And most importantly, we have a deal that Iran will never have a nuclear weapon, which was the whole purpose of what we had to go through to get this.
He believes Iran's supreme leader has signed off on a deal. Ed Donahue, Washington.
And today is a deadline for getting the name of Trump off of the Kennedy Center. His handpicked board, though, at the center is mounting a last-minute effort to keep the name on the building, despite that earlier judge's ruling. On Wall Street right now, the Dow Jones Industrial Average up by 340 points. A high-tech NASDAQ doing well. It's up by about 90, and the S&P 500 up by 35 points. You'll find more on these stories at townhall.com.
Did you really think Pure Talk was just going to sit back and watch America turn 250 years old without doing something awesome to celebrate? Of course not. That's why they're raising $250,000 for America's Warrior Partnership by the end of July. America's Warrior Partnership is on the front line of preventing veteran suicide. They've had extraordinary success, and here's how you can help. When you switch your cell phone service to Pure Talk this month, you'll be invited to round up to support America's Warrior Partnership. No pressure, but if you do, Pure Talk will match your donation dollar for dollar. And to further celebrate 250 years of our extraordinary democratic republic, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. That's pound 250, say Mike Rowe. And happy birthday to us.
1450 WMOH News. I'm Steve Vaughn. The Baden Rams are hoping to hoist the state championship trophy for the first time in 3 decades as they play Columbus Bishop Watterson for the Division III state title. First pitch 7 o'clock, broadcast time 6:35, right here on the ticket. The Butler County General Health District says a second rabid bat has been found in Butler County, this time in Westchester, after a possible case of human exposure. Looking for impaired drivers, the Butler County OVI Task Force is setting up a checkpoint in Westchester tonight. It will run 7:15 to 10 p.m. on US 42 northbound at Regal Lane. Lakota School District voters will decide the fate of another bond issue this fall. The 37-year, $233 million plan won't take effect until 2029. I'm Steve Vaughn.
This is your ticket to high school sports. WMOH 1450 The Ticket.
Looking for a fun, rustic place to hang out with a classic honky-tonk feel to it? You have found it at the Bearded Saddle Saloon. Under new ownership, the Bearded Saddle Saloon features homemade specials for lunch and dinner, plus line dancing on Wednesdays, open mic Thursdays, DJ and karaoke on Fridays, live music on Saturdays, and Sundays, delicious breakfast. The Bearded Saddle Saloon is on 2 acres with beer garden and outdoor picnic area on State Route 73 at US Route 127, just minutes east of Miami University in Oxford. Your entertainment destination, it's the Bearded Saddle Saloon.
No matter how well you take care of your vehicle, sometimes the unexpected happens. You get a flat tire or break down and you have to pull off of the side of the road. Whatever the problem is, if you're on the side of the road and need assistance, please call the Ohio State Highway Patrol for help at pound 677. Troopers know what it's like to work alongside the highway while cars rush by, and we want to make sure you are safe. If you need the patrol's assistance, dial pound 677.
High school tournament baseball. Installed by AE Door and Window.
Swing and a miss. He got him. Caleb Dreesen has finished what he started.
Tonight, Baden plays for the Division III state championship. Coverage begins tonight at 6:35 on 1450 The Ticket.
From the WMOH Weather Center, clouds giving way to sunshine this afternoon with a high 82. Clear tonight with a low 60. Sunny on Saturday with a high 85. Saturday night, showers and thunderstorms likely late with a low near 66. Showers and thunderstorms likely on Sunday, high 79. Chance of showers early Sunday night with a low 54. And mostly sunny on Monday with a high 75.
Today, Moeller plays St. Xavier in the Division I state championship. Scheduled airtime 3:45 on WMOH 1450 The Ticket.
This is how you know it's not anything to freak out over. If the news goes to commercial while they're talking about the story, it's not a big deal. That's a very good measure. These people only know brutality. When you're dealing with thugs that only know brutality, you have to speak their language for them to get the point. Because everything else they view as weakness. They view diplomacy as weakness. I know that's crazy for our developed Western minds.
The Dana Show with Dana Lash.
Welcome back to the program. Dana Lash with you. And we are here at the top of the second hour, ladies and gents. And we're at the top of the second hour, and we're going to get you set up for the weekend, all that good stuff. So you don't want to miss. All right. So if you missed anything in the first hour that you want to get caught up on, and we were talking about the Midland and other things, you can download the podcast. The Midland story, apparently the perp in that story, there was a shooting that took place, 11 injured, 1 fatality. The guy barricaded himself in, but apparently they got him. That's all we have right now. And if we get any other details, we'll share that with you. But that's all we have at this moment. So a couple of other things. I wanted to go back to this story, and I don't have it. I apologize. I don't have it really on my rundown because I hadn't transferred it over there yet. And by the way, at the bottom of the hour, we got our friend Gabe El-Tayyib and Dean Cain because they got some comic stuff. Forgot to say that coming up. Do you remember, I called her the little Boudica, the Scottish girl, the young girl that was in that video where she was being aggravated by this migrant. I don't know if they entered illegally or not. I mean, basically everybody was given asylum and they all, and she had a knife and an axe. Remember that? And there were 2, migrants that were sexually propositioning these minor girls. And the older girl, it was Lola and Ruby Moyer. And this went viral in August of last year. And they were sexually soliciting these girls. And apparently some of it was caught on camera. 13-year-old Lola Moyer, they call her Sophie of Dundee. They were making remarks to them, and also according to some of the witnesses, he was saying, "Come here, sexy, I'll show you how to have a good time," telling that to her, 12 and 13. So she was 12 at the time this happened, and then she was with her little sister. And she was defending her sister. And apparently, so the 2 people, they are Ilya Belov and Nadezhda Belova. Yeah, that works. They were the ones that were propositioning the girls, and the girls were with 2 of their other friends. And, Ruby, 12 and 13 were the girls' ages at the time, so I guess 14 now. And the man had pushed Lola, and the woman had grabbed her by the hair, dragged her to the ground, and had kicked her in the head. Remember the little girl that showed the axe and the knife? Kicked her in the head. It was after she was physically assaulted that Lola brandished a knife and an axe. And it came out that, they're banned from being carried in Scotland because they're morons. But she did it anyway because the consequence of not carrying them, she felt, was worse than the law that would punish her for carrying them because it's so dangerous. Sexual crimes in Dundee, in Scotland, are up over 130%. It is the rape capital of Scotland. And you had these foreigners who were harassing these young girls, these young Scottish girls, propositioning them. I think that they were trying to kidnap them for trafficking. That's what I think. And I think that they messed up picking on this Lola, this Scottish girl named Lola. I think they really messed up picking on her. And they were slandering these girls and libeling these girls. And the media was saying, oh, they're so mean. Juan's getting ready to show you the video of the very thing. Now, remember, when you're watching this video, this is right after, and there were witnesses in this case. These two foreigners had attacked these girls and had grabbed them by the hair and had punched them and all of this other stuff. And that is when the girl pulled out her knife and axe, because they would not leave them alone. They followed them, they grabbed their hair, they punched one of them, they took them to the ground, and that's when that other girl actually had to brandish a blade and threaten them. And then they were the ones who were like, these girls are racist and mean. Well, guess what? They were both, those foreigners were convicted. They were convicted of assault and injury and making sexual remarks to a child. What do you think would have happened if that little girl had not had a blade on her? If you're watching the video, notice that they only backed up after she presented her weapons. Then they backed up. Then they left her alone. I got the feeling she probably could use them. But he was not leaving her alone, and they kept backing away, backing away. So those two were charged. And the judge in the case, I mean, it's just crazy to finally see some justice, I think, over there. But they were charged in this case. This is wild to see this. He was found guilty of making, this is from the BBC, I think the woman too, the woman was convicted. The man was found guilty of making sexual remarks to a group of girls under the age of 14 in Dundee before grabbing and pushing one of them to the ground. The woman he was with was also convicted of behaving in a threatening or abusive manner towards the girls. The woman pled guilty to one. They had one who pled guilty to one charge of assaulting the girl in the incident, and they're going to be sentenced on August 5th. I think they should be deported. Some of the other stuff that they said that I read, I can't really say on air because apparently it was pretty nasty. But that's what they were telling these girls. I mean, I can't. It's just amazing to me. It amazes me. It amazes me. Because normally what you have is, well, like this story from May 22nd. This came from the Daily Mail. This is a crazy story. There was a teenage gang that lured a girl to an underpass, and then they gang raped her and filmed it, and the judge praised them for having good behavior during the trial. If you had to guess if they were born there or immigrated there from a different country where apparently they don't have any kind of good behavior culturally, you would be correct. This is insane. Britain can't even protect its girls. They can't protect their women. If you can't protect, that is the most basic defense. Young boys learn that when they're in elementary school. You are the protector. They understand this. But in these countries from where these people are flooding into Britain from, that's not practiced. They're taught that women are for children, boys are for pleasure. That's what they're taught. It's horrible to say, but it's true. Just stunning. I'm actually shocked that they, aren't you? I'm shocked that they actually convicted those two migrants for sexually harassing and assaulting those kids. Pleasantly shocked. I mean, yes, pleasantly. I mean, because weren't you sort of resigned to not hearing anything else about it ever again? Yeah. I know, I was too. I'm pleased to see that. In the meantime, a couple of other things. Did you guys hear about Jerry Seinfeld? Let's play cut 12. This was after he was leaving after the Knicks game, right? And people got him. They were yelling questions to him on tape. This is pretty based. Watch this.
That's the older. Oh, Jerry. What up, Seinfeld? What up? Can we get a free Palestine? Can we get a free Palestine? Come on, give us one free Palestine.
It doesn't exist.
I love it. That guy was shocked. Did you see that guy's face? He was shook. That dude was shook. I don't think he was expecting, I mean, his name is Seinfeld, for crying out loud. What do you think he was going to say? I don't think he was expecting him to say that, or at least be that aggressive, right? Do you see, he just stopped and went, because it's true, it doesn't exist. It's an entirely made-up place. And he's right. Where is he right? Now, this was cut 13. Wmoh, the woman who married her brother, the woman who defrauded taxpayers nationally and in Minnesota, right? The woman who brushed off 9/11 as some people did some things. The woman who felt bad that the terrorists were killed, the ones who perpetuated October 7th. This is what she had to say, cut 13.
See you. Hey, Jerry Seinfeld has said again last night, Palestine doesn't exist. Do you think that's dangerous rhetoric for someone with such a big platform?
I mean, Jerry Seinfeld has been really horrific human being and an example when it comes to talking about the reality of the genocide that Israel has carried out. And I think when people prioritize their own people in the interest of harming others, it's very dangerous.
Are you accusing him of dual
and I don't
loyalty?
even think of him as like just a celebrity.
You anti-Semitic terrorist. That's what she just did. She just accused him of dual loyalty because he's Jewish. What about your dual loyalty? Because you're from Somalia, and the fact that you basically took the Somalia tribalism right to the Minnesota elections, you absolute colonizer. Wmoh is a terrorist colonizer, and her entire family should be deported. And if we were a country that actually 100% followed our principles and constitution, that would have happened already. She wouldn't even be in office. You know, the founders in the Federalist Papers wrote about allowing people who were new to the country serve in elected capacities like this. They were against it. She is in complete conflict with what our founders would have wanted in terms of being someone who hates the republic, comes over here and wants to represent people in this republic, not because she loves the republic and for which it stands, but because she hates everything about it and would love to destroy it from within. So let's be real about it. But did you hear what she just said? She questions his loyalty because he's Jewish. What about Wmoh's loyalty? All the money that she and the people that she helped defraud taxpayers in Minnesota sent back to Somali tribal lords. For crying out loud, their mayoral race descended in Somali tribalism. It was total chaos. Tribal factions didn't want to vote for this guy because he wasn't from the right Somali tribe. I'm not even kidding. That's literally what ended up happening to one of these mayoral races in Minnesota. The self-awareness level that this woman has, it's always zero. It's never above zero. Never. So coming up, we have headlines on the way. And then we have some fun guests for you as we move our partners that will bring you the program. It's the folks over at Noble Gold, because whenever there is uncertainty, this is the time to move with gold, because gold moves, right? I know waiting feels smart, but then you realize the market is moving on without you. What are you going to do? Well, you got to work with gold. Noble Gold Investments has been helping people protect their savings with physical gold and silver for nearly a decade. They got a white glove service to walk you through everything step by step. Whether you're buying physical gold, whether you're rolling over part of an IRA, whatever it is, there's no high pressure sales pitch. They're not pushy. They actually want to educate you on everything that you're doing, explain what you're buying and why, so you have the full knowledge and you feel confident in all of the moves that you're making. Don't wait for certainty. That may never come. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com/Dana. That's noblegoldinvestments.com/Dana to download your free investor kit. When it comes to being prepared, a little diversity can go a long way, and that's where Byrna comes in, a practical personal security option designed to fit real life. No matter the situation, Byrna can be a diverse backup when carrying is not possible. You carry different calibers and blades even, so why not incorporate Byrna when your options are limited? It gives people another tool to consider when their ability to defend themselves using their Second Amendment rights are compromised. So if you're looking for an alternative, consider Byrna. It's easy to use. There is no recoil. easy target acquisition, and there are no permits required, no background checks, no waiting periods. You order it online and it ships right to your front porch. Proudly assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana, Byrna is built by hardworking Americans dedicated to your safety. Visit Byrna.com/Dana and get your Byrna today. So if you're looking for an alternative, consider Byrna. That's Byrna.com/Dana, ready when you are.
We've got a country to save.
Larry Elder.
Scott Pelley, who's been fired from 60 Minutes, says there's a subtle bias. I've never seen this 60 Minutes or at CBS. End of quote. Media Research Center looked at the first 100 days of Trump, ABC, NBC, CBS. 92% negative. First 100 days of Joe Biden, 59% positive. I've never seen bias at CBS. Some newsman.
The Larry Elder Show.
Join me weekday evenings at 6 on WMOH 1450 The Ticket.
Start saving this summer at AE Door and Window. All through June, save up to 15% off Provia entry doors and sliders, as well as select Clopay garage doors. Save up to 20% off windows by Pella and Provia. Combine and save for another 5% off your total order. And get up to $100 off a next generation LiftMaster opener. All with zero down, zero interest for 2 years. Learn more at aeDoorsales.com.
We sell the best and service the rest. AE.
Back pass pressure in the backfield. He's brought down again. Another sack.
Local business owners, get in on the football excitement and let your message be heard. Join the growing number of businesses supporting high school sports on 1450 The Ticket at very affordable rates. Simply contact the WMOH 1450 The Ticket sales office at 513-863-1111. You are listening, and so are many of your future customers. Let area football fans know that you support high school sports on 1450 The Ticket, and they'll support you.
This is Dana Lash. We'll be right back on WMOH 1450 The Ticket.
Have you noticed bad behavior has become normalized at interscholastic athletic events? Some fans seem angry. They lack civility toward one another. Some even get aggressive and unruly. Time out! What is going on? This has to stop. Let's not forget, school sports aren't just about winning. And they're definitely not an excuse to take your frustrations out on the official or the opponent. They're about teaching lessons like perseverance, respect, and empathy, so students can learn and grow as people, not just as players. We all have a role to play in setting a good example for our students and teaching them these important values. So fans, it's time to step up your game and behave positively at interscholastic athletic events in Ohio.
This message presented by the OHSAA and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Two guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore his seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
This is your ticket to high school football.
Norman makes a move at the 40. Look out. 30. He's going to the end zone. Touchdown. 61 yards. Welcome to Friday Night Lights, Kenyon Norman.
Basketball.
Cunningham bounce pass inside, and the bucket is good. Nice dime by Cunningham.
Cunningham, a lot of heart. Big Valentine under that jersey.
And baseball.
Swung on and ripped into left center field. And it is 2-0. Cade Cummins delivers with a 2-out base hit.
WMOH 1450 The Ticket.
From the WMOH Weather Center this afternoon, we'll see clouds giving way to sunshine with a high 82. Clear tonight with a low 60. On Saturday, sunny with a high 85. Saturday night, showers and thunderstorms likely with a low 66. Showers and thunderstorms on Sunday with a high 79. Partly cloudy with a chance of showers Sunday night with a low 54. And mostly sunny on Monday with your high 75.
Now, back to Dana Lash on WMOH 1450 The Ticket.
And now, all of the news you would probably miss. It's time for Dana's Quick Five.
So a solar storm apparently cost corn growers $1 billion. So they said the Weather Channel names hurricanes, but apparently solar flares have names. The Gannon storm of 2024, it reads, cost Corn Belt farmers more than $1 billion in productivity. And they said, you remember the Aurora Borealis from May 24 that everybody could see even down like in the upper Midwest? So that's like apparently was part of it. So that's actually crazy. They said that it knocked out GPS and it did all this other stuff. And they had industrial farming equipment that relied on it, and they couldn't do the auto drive. There's a lot of stuff that it affected, which I never actually I never thought about that. That's crazy. Also crazy, a California couple fought off a whole bear attack with a water bottle and a hatchet. It's a California couple. It was in Mammoth Lakes, which is in the Sierra Nevada mountains. The woman went outside because she heard her dogs barking. She saw a 17-month-old black bear fighting with one of her dogs. The other dog bolted out of the door. And then as she was trying to stop the 70-pound bear from fighting her dogs, she was trying to break it up, and then the bear turned and ended up trying to attack her. It was biting and clawing her. A man came outside to intervene. The bear confronted him too, so she used a water bottle to hit the bear until the guy could get free, and then he hit the bear with the blunt end of a hatchet, leaving the animal critically injured. Oh. The couple transported themselves to the hospital. The dogs had minor injuries. They're fine. But what about the bear? They said that they had to euthanize the animal because the bear was considered a threat to public safety. They said because the bear was so aggressive, and that is unusual, they had to take the precaution to prevent maybe another attack like that happening when the bear was older and bigger. So I get it. A snake was missing on a plane. Venomous, too. And it's real. This is a real story. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a real story, not snakes on the plane, but apparently a commercial, it was a Dreamliner from Mexico to Gatwick, 345 passengers aboard. Apparently a snake got out, a venomous one, on a commercial plane, red and scaly. I don't know what, it's like a mock viper, which is considered mildly venomous. And apparently it brought everything to a standstill. They've been trying to, it's on the plane still. They can't find it. It's on the plane. Yes. So they're like, I love how the Scottish people were going, it beggars belief that a passenger brought a mock viper on board. And they don't know what the snake could do to the mechanics of the plane, so they can't let it take off again. They have to have it grounded until they find it. That is crazy. You know, one time when I was little, we lost a turtle in our car? A turtle, whole turtle. Not kidding you. Let's see here. States are moving to ban snap use for soda and candy. That makes sense because it's processed and super dangerous. A mom was charged with child endangerment after dozens of cats were found in a Long Island home. They had to pull the cats out of the walls. Imagine you're a hoarder, but with cats. So none of these cats are being cared for. None of them are being cared for. You're talking about a lot. I mean, it was so bad that people called 911. The 18-year-old daughter called 911 because it was such a bad situation. And this was in Glen Cove, Long Island. And it took the full hazmat crew 2 days to pull cats out of windows, cabinets, walls, ceilings. They said that they've never seen a situation like this before, and that the condition was horrible. The house smelled, you can imagine. Coming up, Gabe El-Taib with Big Man Comics and Dean Cain join us because they have a new comic out. And Dean Cain's been in the news lately. Let's talk. Are you sick of staring at a spinning wheel every time you open a new tab or launch an app? Most people blame their computer, but a lot of that slowdown comes from old school antivirus software that's heavy and cluttered and constantly running scans in the background. WebRoot is different. It's cloud-based, lightweight, and engineered to stay out of your way, so you get fast, modern protection without feeling like your laptop is stuck in 2010. With WebRoot, the intelligence lives in the cloud, so that means faster scans, less space used, and a device that runs smooth while still protecting you in real time from malware, phishing, ransomware, and other threats. Whether you're working, gaming, streaming, or just scrolling, it's working quietly in the background, so you don't have to think about it. If you're ready to actually feel the difference of a fast, modern antivirus that works for you, not against you, then make the switch today and save 60%. Visit webroot.com/Dana, and that's 60% off, but only at webroot.com/Dana.
1450 WMOH News. I'm Steve Vaughn. The Baden Rams play for a state title tonight when they take on Columbus Bishop Watterson. First pitch, 7 o'clock at 717 Credit Union Park in Akron. They beat Parma Padua Franciscan 5-2 Thursday in the Division III semifinal in Canton. A second rabid bat has been found in Butler County. The General Health District says the bat was found in Westchester after a possible case of human exposure. An OVI checkpoint is planned for Butler County tonight. It will run 7:15 to 10 p.m. on US 42 northbound at Regal Lane in Westchester. Duke Energy says last night's storms knocked out power to more than 8,200 customers in the tri-state. Butler County was under a severe thunderstorm warning, but the storm had lost much of its punch by the time it crossed the state line. I'm Steve Vaughn.
We've got a country to save.
Larry Elder.
Democrats never cease to amaze. James Tallarico, the Democrat candidate for Senate in Texas, the one who said there are 6 genders, guess what he now says? There are just 2 genders. What happened to the other 4? And Tim Kaine, who said our rights don't come from God, got hammered and then said, oh, I know our rights come from God. But you just said...
The Larry Elder Show.
Join me weekday evenings at 6 on WMOH 1450 The Ticket.
Bienvenidos, amigos. That's how you are welcomed at the area's #1 Latin American foods supermercado y restaurante. And you don't have to speak or understand Spanish to enjoy all that El Gran Valle Verde has to offer. All of your favorite Latin American grocery needs are in stock, and delivery is available too. And if you're not in a cooking mood for groceries, El Gran Valle Verde has a full-service restaurante with all of your favorites. El Gran Valle Verde, nearby in the Hamilton Plaza Shopping Center on Dixie Highway in Hamilton. Nos vemos pronto.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
What an unbelievable start to the 2026 World Cup yesterday in Mexico City. Mexico broke their opening day curse with an explosive 2-0 victory over South Africa. From Julian Quiñones' historic first goal to Raul Jimenez's emotional header, the atmosphere at Azteca was electric. Add in a wild, record-setting 3 red cards, and it's safe to say that this tournament is officially underway with pure drama. I'm Maddie Bates.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
The final is here and both teams are set, and now you can trade every game on Kalshi. Last week, New York was trading at 54% to beat San Antonio, meaning a $100 trade could pay out over $186 if they take the title. Want to know what they're at today? Check Kalshi. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market, and as the odds move, you can buy in or out anytime. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code UPDATE to get a $10 credit when you trade $10. Kalshi. Kalshi. Trade on anything. 18 plus only. Must be present in state where it is legal to trade. Event contract trading involves risk. It may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. $10 free credit with no expiration. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory.
Now that Wendy's has these new biggie deals, everyone in the family can get what they're craving, from nugs to JBCs. The parental units can get an $8 biggie bundle, the eldest who think they're so grown can get a $6 biggie bag, and the little one who can do no wrong can get a $4 biggie bites. You know, assuming they have a credit card. No, I'm kidding. We take cash too. 4, 6, and $8 biggie deals for the whole family. Only at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
From backyard barbecues to homegrown herbs, the best parts of summer start at Lowe's. Right now, get 3 Ferry Morse 1.3 quart vegetables and herbs for just $12. Plus, get 4 bags of Miracle-Gro 0.75 cubic foot garden soil for only $10. Whether you're planting something new or giving your garden a refresh, now's the time to make the most of your outdoor space. Save more on what you need this summer at Lowe's. We help, you save. Valid through 6/24 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
High school tournament baseball. Installed by AE Door and Window.
Swing and a miss. He got him. Caleb Dreesen has finished what he started.
Tonight, Baton plays for the Division III state championship. Coverage begins tonight at 6:35 on 1450 The Ticket.
From the WMOH Weather Center, clouds giving way to sunshine this afternoon with a high 82. Clear tonight with a low 60. Sunny on Saturday with a high 85. Saturday night, showers and thunderstorms likely late with a low near 66. Showers and thunderstorms likely on Sunday, high 79. Chance of showers early Sunday night with a low 54. And mostly sunny on Monday with a high 75.
This is Hugh Hewitt. Join me today at 3 on WMOH 1450 The Ticket.
Brighten up your timely news consumption with the Dana Show podcast, where every update comes with a little dash of not so serious on YouTube, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to the program. Dana Lash with you, and we are at the bottom, almost at the top of the second hour. It's Friday. Come on, half of you are literally laying outside in a kiddie pool, poolside. You're already like eyeing up what you're going to be grilling this weekend, and we're just easing you on into the weekend and getting you all set up. But you're going to need some entertainment. You're going to need some entertainment this weekend. You're going to need some good stuff to read, you know, as you're going and doing your family vacations, maybe on the road trip. And I have a really good suggestion for you as to what you can get. There is a comic series that has the newest, I almost said season, and that's not really, it's a graphic novel, but the newest series, the newest in the series is out. And it's from a friend of ours, Gabe Al-Taib, who we've had on before, Big Man Comics. And this is the name of it, which is the most American thing I've ever heard, and it sounds very Clint Eastwoody, and it's called, and I got to do the affectation, Dean Cain, All-American Lawman. Sounded way tougher in my head. And they both join me now. Dean Cain, and who is literally Superman, and Gabe Al-Taib, who is the brains behind Big Man Comics, publisher. He built it, and he is the artist and the storyteller behind Dean Cain, All-American Lawman. They both join us now in a rare 3-box interview. Hello, gentlemen. Happy Friday. Good to see you both.
Nice to see you, Dana.
Yes.
Hey, thank you for having us. Thank you so much.
Of course,
awesome.
of course.
It's a pleasure.
It's good to have you both. So I got to my first question. Because this just makes so much sense. And I'll start with you, Dean, and then Gabe, I'm going to go to you. Because this is a very, first off, I think a lot more people in the United States have been reading graphic novels, and the storytelling is great. This so perfectly suits you. And I love this because now you've had several in the series. Now you've got the latest series out. And it's you. You're not Dean Cain. You're a character in the graphic novel. You're traveling. How do you participate in this series? Because you and Gabe, I guess, worked together. Did he come to you one day and said, you would be great as like a modern day Clint Eastwood? Like, how did that happen?
Well, what happened? It happened that Gabe left DC Comics and was very public about that, about their wokeness. And so then I contacted him and said, hey, man, I support what you're saying, what you're doing. And then we started talking about the kind of movies and projects we liked. And we decided to make something in that vein, in that 80s action, action adventure stuff, good Americana, pro-America stuff, pro-values, man, woman, excitement, things of that nature, like Romancing the Stone and stuff. So we put that out there. We call it Dean Cain, All-American Lawman. I happen to have been an All-American football player. I am a lawman. So it was a lot of fun to put all that. And you
literally played Superman. I don't think it gets more American.
And I did play that superhero character.
Yeah.
But the character in the show, in the series, in the graphic novel, is Chris Tanaka.
Yeah.
My son is Christopher. My dad is Christopher. And my given last name is Tanaka. So it was really nice to put that together and make this action, adventure, romance, incredibly visual series with Gabe, and it's awesome, and people have been extremely positive about it. And now we're coming out with volume 2.
Yes, which is exciting. And Gabe, because volume 1, I read a lot. Volume 1 was Dangerous Freedom. From what it's like under 100 pages. Graphic, beautifully illustrated. Your stuff is, I like the storytelling, and I like what Dean was saying, because when you're Gen X, the 80s like cop movies in the 80s, like Dean just said, Romancing the Stone, that was such a vibe, and it was great storytelling. The characters were so well developed. The visuals were great. We haven't had anything like that in a really, really long time, so it's nice to see that story. And really what's new in this format, because as I said earlier, so many people now in the United States are reading graphic novels. I think I read something where it's like more than they ever have been. It was like a huge increase. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, graphic novels, they've taken over. If you go to any bookstore, those sections in like Barnes & Noble, where they're filled with manga and all that.
Yeah.
Manga's just Japanese comics. But it's an action movie in a graphic novel form. And for those of you listening out there, that's stuff you've been dying for. That's stuff you want, whereas a man is a man and right is right and wrong is wrong.
We have that. I'm obsessed with 1980s Hong Kong cinema. John Woo, Ringo Lam, Chow Yun-fat. So I set the sequel in Hong Kong. The first one took place in Baja, California. The character's taking down a cartel that's working with Chinese drug suppliers. So now in this sequel, we go to Hong Kong and we take out the head of the snake there. And it's so much fun. Chris Tanaka, our main character, he's a single father. He's got a hot-blooded Mexican girlfriend that he met in the first edition. And we really, we don't want to moralize. We don't want to lecture. That's what the left does. Right. You know what I mean? I have a slogan for Big Man Comics. Other stories give you a lecture. Our stories give you an adventure. We do have values. I'm a Christian. I'm a patriot, all that stuff. But I'm not sitting there wagging my finger at you. The first goal always as an artist and a writer is to entertain. Yeah. I'm entertaining you. There's a moral in the story, but you're not going to feel it. You're just going to feel thrilled. You're going to feel like running through a brick wall when this is over. Because I mean, outside of Top Gun Maverick, when do you get stuff like this in recent times? You just don't get it. So that's what we're trying to do. Yeah, they're movie length. I write them in the Hollywood 3-act hero's journey kind of thing. I have a lot of fun with those. And we have a brilliant illustrator for these. I illustrate some other books for my company, but these are illustrated by former Disney animator. He's a brilliant guy, 30-something years as a pro illustrator and animator. He worked on Emperor's New Groove, Atlantis, Brother Bear, all that stuff in the Tarzan. He animated all those for Disney, worked at Marvel Comics. Then I met him at DC Comics working on Aquaman together. And I just love his sensibility. He is the secret ingredient here, but he's not an internet guy. So he never comes on any shows or he doesn't post or anything like that. But Philippe Briones, he lives in Paris. He's our kind of guy.
And you just threw him out there.
Yeah.
We got to keep him hidden. Gabe, he just gave it up.
Gotta protect him at all costs. Because I love that. We're talking. If you guys are, everybody's just joining us. Our friend Dean Kane, Gabe Altaid with Big Man Comics. And Gabe, you had left the last time we had you on. We were talking about your journey leaving DC, and then striking out on your own. And what you were talking about, creating these characters and these stories that are not lecturing. There's no, immoral preening. There's none of that, and that gets out of the way for the story to really. Yeah. For people to appreciate the story. That's always been my big thing. I have a really difficult time getting over, suspending my disbelief to get into a story. Mm-hmm. And when you get all of the politics and the preening out of the way, you can really do that. And I think that that's what makes your stuff really unique with this. Talk to us about the character as well and how you really came up with this character with Dean.
Well, we talked about the values we had, Dean and I, before I had a very nebulous idea of a James Bond, Indiana Jones, Jack Colton from Romance in the Stone, this cool guy that travels the world righting wrongs. And Dean wrote like a 5-page dossier on him. And I remember the quote, I think it was a Frederick Douglass quote, is I'll work with anyone to do good and with nobody to do evil, or something like that was a quote he put in there. And he wrote all these other ideas about who he was as a man and a father and a patriot and this and that. And then I just ran with it from there with all the stuff I love about action movies. But to me, the heart of all of it is sacrificing yourself for others. Right. This isn't just endless bullets and just stupidity. Like, there's a deep story here. He has deep conversations with his son. He has to make terrible choices and always stand up and do the right thing, no matter how deadly it is. And we do get deep into the characterization. So we mix it. There's a lot of bullets and babes and bad guys, as I like to say, but there's a lot of thoughtfulness and a lot of what I think it means to be a man. Yeah. To have restraint, to have honor, to have integrity. That's the heart of this thing. And it's not to lecture anyone. It's to inspire everyone. To say, you know what? You could be more than you ever thought. Whatever you want, whatever you're supposed to do, it's on the other side of fear. Just push through the fear and you're going to do it. Yeah. That's what we have here.
One of the things that this reminded me of, there's a strain of the story, and I think it's really the character development and the fearlessness, Dean, of your character. I don't know if you guys Gabe is probably Rurouni Kenshin, which manga, a great series as well. And there was something about that series this reminded me of, kind of like that character in a way. The fearlessness and the integrity and the willingness to do, what's right, and having that clear-eyed consistency, which I love that in characters. Dean, why is that so avoided in character development? Do people think that that's not a compelling thing for viewers to watch?
I think maybe studios or people feel that way, but the regular everyday Joe on the street, it's something that makes perfect sense to me. I would watch that and I would just be drawn to that sort of character. And who you're rooting for, and why you're rooting for them, even if they're a bit, on the edge, if they make some mistakes and do some things, who they are. And I think that storytellers, filmmakers haven't been the ones telling the stories and doing that. There's been a lot of executives and a lot of groupthink going on there and stopping you from being able to tell your story. So here it's just me and Gabe. And so there's nobody going to tell us how to do it and what to do and how to make it. And so we get to be very clear-eyed. And I mean, you knew what Dirty Harry was going to do.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and you were rooting for him in the coffee shop. There, he got all the sugar in his drink, and you know he's coming back because that's the right thing to do. And it's, you know, and that's that feeling where you're like, of course, I understand this. You're not getting bombarded with all these other outside weird things. You know, somebody like the lead actress in a brand new DC film picking on Christian dads. Stuff like that isn't going to be happening.
I wanted to ask you about that. That was and you're right though, because I read that interview, and I'm gonna come back to the series here in just a second. But I read that because you got into some headlines. You got into a spot of headlines. Dean did because
I hadn't heard
of a remark that, you know, because I think it originally began. You're like, how does Supergirl get her ears pierced? Because you're bulletproof. You know what? That's the kind of stuff, honestly, that people like me would watch and be like, that is a great, why are her ears pierced? Because now I don't believe her. I don't believe her. But that they got mad because you said she looked like some other Klingon character.
I said I laughed.
You laughed. That's all you did. You didn't say it. You just said I laughed. That's it. And it was funny. It was funny. That's why.
Well, see, the thing is this. Dana, when I started playing Superman, I'm a quarter Japanese. I am Tanaka. Yeah. When I started playing Superman, somebody, you know, the internet was in its infancy, and they said, we want Superman, not Sushi Man. Now, being Japanese, now I could be like, oh my gosh. My brother and I laughed we still laugh to this day because to us, that's hysterical. I'm an athlete. Insult me all day long. I'm going to knock you down on the field. Insults to me, they don't mean anything, you know, because I'm not worried about whether I look Japanese or not, or whether she looks like that character from whatever, blah. There was a similarity. I thought it was funny. And so I giggled at it. And boy, did the hordes get mad. But that's the thing. There's that horde group there. They may not buy Dean Cain All-American Lawman, but there are some everyday regular people who will. Yeah. Who will enjoy our series and enjoy that stuff. So I'm not worried about that stuff. I think it's funny. I got a good kick out of it, and then I forgot about it.
Gabe, because this is so cinematically told, even in a novel form, are there plans to make this, like, you know, like bring it off from the page and have like a series? I mean, I could definitely see this as and because Dean's making that face, I definitely want to know, because this would be a great scripted series.
I've already casted this movie in my head. It's in the sequel. He's got his British friend Harker, a mercenary, who helps him. That's already Matthew Marston.
Oh my gosh,
and
that's
Veronica,
perfect.
the girlfriend, that's already Eva Mendes. I've casted the whole movie.
Oh, that's
so don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
So,
I absolutely would love to turn this into a show or a movie, and we'll work towards that. And if that's what God wants from me, then that's what we'll do. You know what I mean? But I think, you know, in our culture, for better or for worse, entertainment is the most important thing to most people. I don't think it should be, but it is. So the adult opinion is to deal with reality on reality's terms. So if we're going to have entertainment influencing people so much, why not influence them with truth and beauty and the kind of things that can make their life better? God did not give me a gift, or you, Dana, to speak, or Dean to act. He didn't give us gifts so we can then hurt people's lives, so I can make ugly comics that teach them cynical, hateful things. Why would I do that? You know, that's a horrible thing to do. I want people to have so much fun. You know, and everyone that has ever gotten back to me about this book, they're like, wow, that was so good. In the comic book industry, people didn't know I was a writer because all I did for Marvel and DC and those companies was illustration and coloring. They didn't let me write. And so when I finally but I've been a writer since I was a kid. So when I got on my own, I'm like, okay, well, now I'm going to write these things. And then everyone's like, oh, my God, you can write. I'm like, yeah, I've been telling you that for years.
You know,
that was kind of a thing I didn't like at DC Comics. They were like, stay in your lane.
Yeah.
You're
well,
an
to your point,
you know,
remember Jesus gave stories. He spoke in parables. And
I've said that so many times.
Exactly. Because he knew.
Enough for him, they're good enough for me.
Yes. Because that's how he knew he was going to be able to reach people. And you both are doing the same thing. Dean Cain, Gabe El-Tayyib, the series Dean Cain, All-American Lawman. And you can go to Big Man Comics and you can go and get it, check out, learn about the new series. And then maybe, you know, when the time comes and they want to talk about the scripted series, the news will be there. But congrats, guys. This is great. And I love seeing good people that make good art succeed. And this is just awesome. And we really needed this. So congrats. I can't wait for it. And it's so good to have you both. Thank you so much. God bless you. Have a great weekend. Good to see you.
God bless, Dana. Thank you.
Thank you, Dana.
Of course. We have more to come, folks, as we wrap up this second hour. And we're capitalists. God bless America. We can't do this without the people who believe in the show and partner with us, and also make really good products, too, that they want to share with you, like Relief Factor. Now, I know a little bit about this personally because my husband and I were both jocks in school, and my husband did hockey and football, and he had to have knee surgery, and it's all crazy. And he takes Relief Factor because he still has issues with his knee that he deals with, and this really helps him. He would love to not have to have surgery again on his knee, and so Relief Factor is really, really helpful for him in that way because it's a 100% drug-free, research-based formula that is specifically created and designed to fight inflammation, which is the root cause of most pain. Now, this is not a temporary fix, right? This works from the inside out to support your body's natural response to pain. It helps you get back to walking comfortably, staying active, living comfortably, all of that. And this year marks 250 years of American independence, the perfect time to stand yourself for freedom from pain. They have special patriotic pricing. 3-week quick start for $17.76. That's a very easy number to remember. You can get started and join millions of other customers and celebrate freedom from pain. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF for the special 3-week quick start price of $17.76. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF.
Do you hear that? That's the sound of uncertainty lurking under your hood. You know the feeling. I know I do. That sudden sinking sensation when you see a check engine light or your car unexpectedly breaks down and you're faced with sky-high repair bills. It's time to shield against unexpected repairs with CarShield. CarShield is America's most trusted auto protection company and has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. Don't let the fear of a breakdown keep you up at night. Trust the Shield, CarShield, and say goodbye to terrifying repair bills and hello to peace of mind. Your plan also comes with 24/7 roadside assistance, courtesy towing, rental car options, and so much more. Don't wait till it's too late. Call CarShield now before a breakdown. Protect your wallet. Protect your car with CarShield. Get our best protection ever. Call now. You'll thank me later. 800-915-8003. 800-915-8003. That's 800-915-8003.
What's worse than summer heat? Trying to sleep on a mattress that turns into a sauna every single night. So if you're waking up sweaty and kicking the covers off and flipping your pillow over for the cool side, it's your mattress trapping the heat. So that's why I love GhostBed, because I notice the difference almost immediately. It's just better temperature regulation, less tension. You don't wake up feeling stiff and sore. And the cooling technology is built into every mattress. It's not some ridiculous upcharge. Some of GhostBed's happiest customers are hot sleepers. I mean, just check out the reviews. Life is too short to spend another summer sleeping badly. GhostBed gives you 101 nights to try it at home. And if you don't like it, they offer free returns. So that means you can sleep on it all summer long and decide for yourself. And if you don't feel the difference, you just send it back. GhostBed is offering my audience an extra 10% off. So visit ghostbed.com/Dana and use promo code Dana. Life is too short to spend another summer sleeping badly. So visit ghostbed.com/Dana. That's ghostbed.com/Dana, promo code Dana for 10% off. This is Dana Lash. We'll be right back on WMOH 1450, The Ticket.
We've got a country to save.
Larry Elder.
Scott Pelley, who's been fired from 60 Minutes, says there's a subtle bias. I've never seen this 60 Minutes or at CBS. End of quote. Media Research Center looked at the first 100 days of Trump, ABC, NBC, CBS. 92% negative. First 100 days of Joe Biden, 59% positive. I've never seen bias at CBS. Some newsman.
The Larry Elder Show.
Join me weekday evenings at 6 on WMOH 1450 The Ticket.
Mark your calendar for June 13th through the 21st for the Friendship Flea Market. The Friendship Flea Market is very unique with nearly 500 vendor spaces selling a wide variety of new, used, primitives, and specialty foods. Bring the whole family. Roads are blacktopped and are stroller and wheelchair accessible. Admissions free, parking $3, and camping is available. Located in Friendship, Indiana on State Road 62, just a mile east of town. Call 812-667-5645 or visit friendshipfleamarket.com.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new break you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-499-5331. 800-499-5331. 800-499-5331.
High school tournament baseball. Installed by AE Door and Window.
Taylor sliding into third, safe. Three-run triple, Chandler Taylor. And another runner's going to score. Keegan Sawyer with some heads-up base running. Swing and a miss. He got him. Caleb Dreesen has finished what he started. Baden Rams back in the state championship game.
Tonight, Baden plays for the Division III state championship. Coverage begins tonight at 6:35 on 1450 The Ticket and on WMOH.com.
From the WMOH Weather Center this afternoon, we'll see clouds giving way to sunshine with a high 82. Clear tonight with a low 60. On Saturday, sunny with a high 85. Saturday night, showers and thunderstorms likely with a low 66. Showers and thunderstorms on Sunday with a high 79. Partly cloudy with a chance of showers Sunday night with a low 54. And mostly sunny on Monday with your high 75.
Now, back to Dana Lash on WMOH 1450 The Ticket.
It's his life mission to make bad decisions. It's time for Florida Man.
All right, so we've got a Florida man that broke into a mini mart and scratched off all these stolen lotto tickets.
Did he win?
I don't think he did. I mean, there'd probably be signs, you know. I'm saying, like, the cops would probably arrest him because somebody would call for that. Let's see. West Central Florida man, he broke into a mini mart and started stealing scratch-off lotto tickets along with cigarettes, alcohol, and even, just to keep all his bases covered, some bologna and cheese. According to Manatee County Sheriff's Office online booking records, Brian Patrick Jones, oh, my word. Kane? He's 46.
I know.
Okay, I'm going to need one, if you can, to throw this one up on the screen, because no one will believe me. You guys are not going to believe me. You could show this to somebody and be like, guess how old he is. I was like 60. Yeah, I'm not kidding you. He
looks like 60 or 65, and that he's been mining for gold in the 1800s.
Yeah, he looks like an old prospector. He does. He looks legit like an old prospector. So he burglarized Bud's Mini Mart in Bradenton. It is about 9:55 p.m. according to Bradenton Police Department, and he entered through the ceiling, as one does, and then he got in a lot of trouble. Dispatch got called, and I love how they go. Well, his shopping list included handfuls of cigarettes, lotto tickets, alcohol, and for reasons only known to him, bologna and cheese. I don't know if he ate the bologna and cheese, but I know he's going to get a hot meal in prison. Stick with us. Third hour coming up.
1450 The Ticket.
Don't get caught letting your furnace or air conditioner break down during temperature extremes. Your system needs to operate efficiently at all times. Butler County Mechanical Services is your dependable neighborhood heating and cooling company, offering reliable 24-hour service 7 days a week. And be sure to ask about their annual maintenance contract. That's Butler County Mechanical Services. Call them for your heating and air conditioning system tune-up or repair.
892-1444. 892-1444.
Congress is poised to pass a bill to keep AM radio in cars. But time is running out. 82 million Americans risk losing the news, sports, talk, traffic, and vital emergency information they rely on. Text AM to 52886 and tell Congress to pass this bill now.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
This is your ticket to high school sports. WMOH, Hamilton, Fairfield, Westchester, Cincinnati. 1450 The Ticket.
Breaking news at Town Hall. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Police following up on a shooting in West Texas today, and we get the latest developments from correspondent Willie Nelson.
At least one person is dead, and multiple others are hospitalized following a mass shooting in Midland, Texas. City officials say 11 people were shot during the attack. 9 victims remain hospitalized, with several undergoing surgery. Authorities say the suspected gunman is also dead. Willie Nelson, Washington.
Dangerous weather making its mark today through the Midwest as weekend approaches.
Aerial footage shows huge trees on top of crushed vehicles and window panes blown from tall buildings. At least 3 tornadoes ripped through communities near Chicago Thursday. Police warned residents to take cover in Maryville, Indiana, about 33 miles southeast of Chicago. When it was over, trees and power lines blocked streets. Homes were damaged and the roof of part of a high school was ripped off. In Streator, Illinois, local TV News shows a husband and wife trapped in the rubble of their home, being rescued by police. The mayor says they're just grateful there have been no reported deaths. I'm Donna Warder.
No doubt Democrats in Maine would like to move on from the issue of Graham Plattner's tattoo, but the Nazi-link symbol on the Senate candidate's chest continues to be front and center in the headlines.
We are now hearing from yet another ex-girlfriend of Plattner. The Democrat candidate for Senator of Maine had a Nazi-linked tattoo, but claims publicly he didn't know what it meant. His ex-girlfriend says that's a lie and that Plattner absolutely knew what the symbol was. She tells a reporter that she said to Plattner, as a person who's a leftist, I immediately looked at him and asked him, is that a Totenkopf? And he told her that it was, but he decided to keep it as a reminder that the United States was the evil bad guy overseas.
That's correspondent Laura Winters reporting. Plattner set to face incumbent Republican Senator Susan Collins in November. More from townhall.com.
Let me ask you a question. Are you carrying a balance on a credit card right now? If you are, you're paying somewhere around 24% interest. Wow, 24%. That's not a loan, that's punishment. Meanwhile, you're sitting on a house full of equity at a fraction of that rate. The math is insane, and the credit card companies are counting on you not adding it up. Fellowship Home Loans does the math. For over 20 years now, Mike and Brian have helped families consolidate that high-interest credit card debt into their mortgage and start keeping the money they've been bleeding out every month. Everything is done in-house. One roof, one team, all with a servant-led mentality, people who know your name and treat you like family. Break up with your credit card. Go to fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G. fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, or call 800-510-MIKE. 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-6453. Ask for your free mortgage checkup. Fellowship Home Loans, mortgage lending by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 819382.
1450 WMOH News. I'm Steve Vaughn. The Baden Rams are a win away from a state championship. They beat Parma Padua Franciscan Thursday 5-2 in the Division III state semifinal. The game was tied 2-2 when the Rams broke it open with 3 runs in the 6th.
Baden Rams back in the state championship game, and boy, it wasn't easy, Chris, but they came up big when they needed to.
Dude, I'm telling you, you got to have games like this when you make a run into a state championship game. And look, Baden's had a pretty easy run of it to get to this point, and they needed a test like this.
Jason Earhart and Chris Tice. The Rams go for the title tonight against Columbus Watterson, 7 o'clock p.m. in Akron. Jason and Chris will begin coverage at 6:35. The Butler County OVI Task Force is planning a checkpoint in Westchester tonight. It will run 7:15 to 10 p.m. on U.S. Route 42 northbound at Regal Lane. I'm Steve Vaughn.
This is your ticket to high school sports. WMOH 1450 The Ticket.
Looking for a friendly, fun tavern? Nick and Norm's Tavern on the west side of Hamilton has a friendly and entertaining staff, great food, and a large drink selection. At Nick and Norm's Tavern, you can play pool and darts inside, or you can sit in their outdoor area to enjoy your food and drinks. Singo and bike nights with Queen of Hearts drawing are on Wednesdays, Thirsty Thursdays, a DJ and karaoke on Fridays, and live bands on Saturdays. Stop in to Nick and Norm's Tavern on Millville Avenue at Wasserman Road on the west side of Hamilton. Nick and Norm's Tavern, a proud supporter of local youth athletics.
You've been putting back a few, and a few becomes a few too many.
For a moment, you think of calling for a ride, but nah, you live nearby. What's the worst that could happen? You get pulled over, your insurance goes up, you lose your license, you total your car, you kill someone. The results of driving drunk are tragic. That's why law enforcement is out there looking for impaired drivers to save lives. So if you think you're okay to drive after a few drinks, think again. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
High school tournament baseball. Installed by AE Door and Window.
Swing and a miss. He got him. Caleb Dreesen has finished what he started.
Tonight, Baden plays for the Division III state championship. Coverage begins tonight at 6:35 on 1450 The Ticket.
From the WMOH Weather Center, clouds giving way to sunshine this afternoon with a high 82. Clear tonight with a low 60. Sunny on Saturday with a high 85. Saturday night, showers and thunderstorms likely late with a low near 66. Showers and thunderstorms likely on Sunday, high 79. Chance of showers early Sunday night with a low 54. And mostly sunny on Monday with a high 75.
Today, Moeller plays St. Xavier in the Division I state championship. Scheduled airtime 3:45 on WMOH 1450 The Ticket.
This is how you know it's not anything to freak out over. If the news goes to commercial while they're talking about the story, it's not a big deal. That's a very good measure. These people only know brutality. When you're dealing with thugs that only know brutality, you have to speak their language for them to get the point. Because everything else they view as weakness. They view diplomacy as weakness. I know that's crazy for our developed Western minds.
The Dana Show with Dana Lash.
Welcome back to the program. Dana Lash with you. We're at the top of the third hour. If you missed anything, go to the podcast and go get it. Go download it. You can also find us over at Substack, Chapter and Verse. I just have to say, so hold up. I don't think this is censored. I don't think this part is censored. I'm going to get into some audio, but I just saw Hunter Biden going off on the UFC thing. And he said, I like the UFC. They ruined it. They have to put it on the blank South lawn. What the blank? How is this appropriate? Okay. You literally had crack in the White House. And your dad had topless trannies on an Easter weekend picnic on the White House lawn in 2023. That's a real thing that happened. Oh, and let's not forget the gay porn that was filmed in the Senate chamber. Let's not forget that. Don't Google that. Oh, dear heavens, you know. All of that happened. But that was okay with him. He liked that part, because it's okay. It's different, right? It's different. Hey, what is everybody's favorite? I really, like I said, Any Which Way But Loose. I really liked her in that film. Remember that film? We talked about Clint Eastwood with Gabe Al-Taib last. Wait, hang on. Any Which Way But... You guys remember that movie, Any Which Way But Loose? Yeah, Clint Eastwood and Marjorie Taylor Greene played Clyde. And it was just, no, I'm not being mean. Stop, I'm not. I'm being, you all thought it. Really liked her in that movie. She's now going on Russian state TV. And, well, this is 11. Watch this.
Я верила президенту, когда он говорил, что не будет больше никаких войн.
On Russian state TV to bash America. Remember when the Dixie Chicks did that? So Marjorie Taylor Greene is so scorned because she thought that she expected Trump to give her the Senate seat in Georgia. She was mad that she actually was, I've heard that she was mad that she actually expected a campaign. It's like, you read stories about like actors and actresses in Hollywood that are offended if they have to audition for parts. She expected it apparently to be like a coronation. She didn't think that she was actually going to have to campaign. She just thought she could just announce for Senate and that Trump would give her all the money she needed and she didn't really have to do anything. And then when she was told, and I know some of the people that were involved in the polling, that, girlfriend, look, you are going to be devoured. You have not a shot in Hades at winning a Senate seat. Then she got mad, blamed her unelectability on Trump, and is now going on Russian state TV to bash the United States. Which then, like, takes me back. Would you have really wanted somebody who doesn't realize that you actually have to make the case to voters, and you have to try to win voters over, and you actually have to have policy positions, and you have to go out and, talk about those, heaven forbid. Would you actually want somebody to be in the Senate that does that? That just expects everything to be handed to them? I mean, I wouldn't myself, but apparently Georgians didn't either. But she's mad. She's mad at this. So she's going on now Russian state TV to do this. Now, when they're not doing that, like, we got to go check in. Let's go check in with a Podcastistan. They all interview each other because they won't go on anyone else's show. They are too afraid of a challenge. They're too afraid of it. So Tucker's drunk brother, Buckley, went on the Podcastistan circuit promoting the Marxist Graham Plattner. Listen to cut 9. If I can make it through, it's a minute. Dear heavens, help us all.
Early prayers this morning was that the excellent voters of South Carolina will reject Lindsey Graham in this primary today, and Mark Lynch.
I'm going to talk over
I've
and
seen
this
some
to it.
encouraging numbers.
I hope you're right.
Can you believe that's Tucker's younger brother? Younger brother. Younger brother. Yeah, can we just get to the point of him?
Susan Collins.
Okay,
Yeah.
here we are.
I mean, obviously,
Graham
today's just a
Plattner.
primary, but the general's coming up in
The
November.
Marxist.
And how will that affect the GOP caucus, I wonder, because she's such a reliable conservative.
I mean, I know you.
So is
you've
it
been
now
talking a
Graham
lot about the
Plattner? Like
Uniparty
what?
Lately, and you have a decent point. It's like, how will any of
Gosh,
this
what a
affect
boring
any of
ass
our-
conversation. Just get to the point. He's like,
Transparency in elections. They want safe elections, and they've just given up on that. I guess now they have given up on it completely.
anyway, the whole point is that the soundbite apparently is supposed to be that he said that Plattner was inevitable and that would be better than Susan Collins. I would rather gouge my ears out than have to listen to this boring conversation. I get it. It's like one of the times that he's sober, but still. You're pimping Susan Collins like you are pimping Graham Plattner over Susan Collins. I don't like Susan Collins. I think it's generous to say that she's a rhino, but she's voted more with Republicans than Democrats. And if that's the best you can get in that area, that doesn't mean you go, okay, I give up. Guess we'll go with the Marxists who Tubin's it in the Porta-John. Woo! Woo! That's not what you do. You work to you work on the electorate first. People there, you have to remember, the politicians are a reflection of the electorate, right? You can't just like switch out the politician and think, well, that's going to change all the people that voted for him. It's like if the people vote for a bad guy, you don't just switch out the bad guy with the good guy and be like, no, this good guy is going to make the bad people who voted for the bad guy good. That is why the founders were like, you must be a virtuous people, because from a virtuous people, you elect virtuous leaders. So my point is that Susan Collins right now in that district is the most Republican that you are going to get. But it's someone that caucuses with Republicans. It's someone that votes with Republicans more than Democrats. Do I like her? No, but that's a separate conversation that's meant to distract from this one. No one gives a rat's ass if you like the person. They are a tool, a vehicle for your vote, for your will. You think you're going to get that with the literal Marxist Nazi who roughhoused apparently his girlfriends and Tubins it and Porta-Johns because the chemical smell gets him off? I didn't say that. He did. That's what you're going to go for? I mean, it makes sense that Buckley Carlson would like him. That makes sense, I guess. I don't know. He's in a weird way. His wife left him. Lying. So I got more. Speaking of the Podcastistanis, because here's another one. So Chunk Jr., Junior Chunk. Yeah, sure. It's Captain Chunk's nephew, Hassan Piker, forever heretofore known as Junior Chunk, and you can thank Steve for that. Guys, Junior Chunk is so upset. Hold up. Junior Chunk, remember when he went to Cuba in a $700 silk shirt? Because who wears silk to a tropical environment? Morons do. Such an unforgiving, unbreathable fabric. And he also wore like $1,000 sunglasses and all this other stuff. So Chunk Jr. is super upset, guys, because he actually, first off, he had to pay for his Knicks tickets. You know, I mean, sure, it's only like a few $6,000, but he had to pay for his tickets. And then, can you believe the indignity of not even like glorifying him on the Jumbotron? This is cut 14.
I ended the broadcast last night, as you guys know. Will was inebriated. He came over here and he beat my ass, and he demanded that we go to Madison Square Garden, which we did. We had dumped a decent amount of money for these seats that weren't like technically nosebleed seats, but they weren't great either. It was like a weird angle. It was like a weird, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a weird angle. Okay. Did you say hi to Taylor? Yeah, no, I did not. I didn't. I was not mentioned in the celebrities that were invited.
Is there a point? What in the hell did we just listen to? I immediately was like, I know it's my own show, but I got to tune out because that's horrible. Wow. $7,000, huh? I've heard that number before. So he's mad because he didn't get his butt kissed on the Jumbotron. Chunk Jr. is just like you. Everything's given to him. His uncle works in podcasting, so he's going to work on podcasting. I just don't even understand. Oh my gosh, this is just insanity. But he was super upset that he did not get like the hat tip and the Jumbotron. That's who these people are. I'm surprised that he's not going to be Carlson's next guest. Honestly, I'm pretty surprised. I was thinking about this. All of these people, like the Marjorie Taylor Greens and the Carlsons and all that stuff, all of these individuals, they used to be, I think they were situationally, like MAGA. Like they are trying so hard to get their next grift in line before Trump's term ends. That's a lot of what this is. They're trying so hard to get the grift set up. So when his term ends, they have something to go to. That's what a lot of this is. So much of it's this. It really is. Also, let's see, I'm not going to get into all of this stuff with the podcast to stand and talking about the TPUSA and all of that, but I will say this, with a lot of the stuff that I've seen out there, I posted this on X as well. Why is it that the few of whom are not bots, that the women bullying Erica Kirk seem like pick-me feminists who are so desperate to feel like they're just part of something to fulfill the emptiness in their lives? I mean, it might be a rhetorical, so that Gal Sharpton can understand it, saying, But I think, have you noticed this? Like the pick-me feminist mommy sleuths, that's what it really, I find that fascinating. That they are like this. It's fascinating and sad. I just wonder, like, are these the women who never got over high school and they feel like they desperately want to be part of something? So if they all pile on, then that gives them that sense of belonging. Really, I think that they are psychological studies in the making. I had to put that out there because I've seen some of these women do this. I'm like, what is the matter with you broads? What is the matter? We've got more on the way, including we got headlines coming up. Ooh, and then later, our friend Brad Thor is going to be joining us. We got a lot of stuff to talk about with him because he's got a book out. We'll talk about the book, but there's a whole bunch of other stuff we got to get into as well. As we move, our partners that help bring you the program, it's our good friends over at Preborn. Preborn is out there saving lives. Like actually saving lives with Preborn. And, we're getting near Father's Day. And one of the things when this topic of abortion comes up and parenthood, fathers really kind of get overlooked. And I think that's pretty sexist, honestly. Dads are also overwhelmed and scared and ignored. You got to remember, society not only is telling women that they're not strong enough to raise a child in an unplanned pregnancy, but they're telling men the same thing. They're telling men, no, go ahead, get out of that responsibility. Go ahead and encourage the woman to end this child's life. And this is why preborn is so important, because they go to where these couples are and they're like, no, you absolutely can do this. They provide compassion and support, not just for the moms, but for the dads too, giving couples the chance to hear the truth, meet their baby on an ultrasound, and understand that they have tons of hope for the future and they don't have to do this alone, right? And so preborn, those ultrasounds, $28 is the cost of one ultrasound, and it changes lives. It saves families, the absolute building block of this republic. And you're just storing up treasure in heaven as well. And this ultrasound, that is the turning point where fear turns into hope for both moms and dads. You can sponsor one ultrasound and help save a baby's life while supporting parents during a critical moment. Today, you can help another dad as well experience that same moment of hope. Sponsor an ultrasound through Preborn and help expectant parents see a future filled with life and compassion and the hope of God's love. To donate, dial pound 250 and say the word baby. That's pound 250, say the word baby, or visit preborn.com/Dana. After years of bad policies and failed leadership, we finally have an administration fighting to put America first. But if conservatives get comfortable now, the same people who created this mess are ready to drag us right back into it. Protecting our freedoms takes more than casting a ballot every few years. It takes staying engaged and supporting the companies that share our values. And that's why I have loved to be a customer and I'm proud to work with Patriot Mobile. It's America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. Patriot Mobile offers premium priority nationwide service on all 3 major U.S. networks, plus unlimited data plans, mobile hotspots, international roaming, and a 100% U.S.-based customer support team. You can keep your phone, keep your number, switch it all up in just minutes. It's up to you. And unlike other carriers, Patriot Mobile contributes millions of dollars every year to organizations that defend faith, family, and freedom and our God-given rights. Patriot Mobile isn't just talking about saving America. They're actually putting their business behind the fight every single day. Join the movement today. Visit patriotmobile.com/Dana or call 972-PATRIOT and use promo code Dana for a free month of service. That's patriotmobile.com/Dana, 972-PATRIOT.
High School Tournament Baseball, installed by AE Door and Window.
Taylor sliding into third, safe. Three-run triple, Chandler Taylor. And another runner's going to score. Keegan Sawyer with some heads-up base running. Swing and a miss. He got him. Caleb Treason has finished what he started. Baden Rams back in the state championship game.
Tonight, Baden plays for the Division III state championship. Coverage begins tonight at 6:35 on 1450 The Ticket and on WMOH.com.
Start saving this summer at AE Door and Window. All through June, save up to 15% off Provia entry doors and sliders, as well as select Clopay garage doors. Save up to 20% off windows by Pella and Provia. Combine and save for another 5% off your total order and get up to $100 off a next generation LiftMaster opener. All with zero down, zero interest for 2 years. Learn more at aedoorsales.com.
We sell the best and service the rest. AE.
Big Box is back at Popeyes. 2 pieces of bone-in chicken or 3 tenders, 2 regular sides, and a biscuit for just $6. Add a cane sweet lemonade or tea and a blueberry lemon cheesecake to make your meal complete. Need dinner for the family? Get an 11-piece tender meal with 1 large side, 4 biscuits, and 4 dip cups for only $20. Stop by your new locally owned Popeyes locations at 2981 Princeton Road near Bridgewater Falls or 5102 Dixie Highway in Fairfield.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
This is Dana Lash. We'll be right back on WMOH 1450 The Ticket.
My friends, can I share something with you for a moment? I know how confusing it's become. Every time you turn on the radio, you hear another voice telling you to buy gold. Every host, every show, another endorsement. Like walking through a mall with 20 gold stores in a row, each one shouting, buy from me, buy from me. I'm not going to do that to you, El Dorados. Many years ago, when Dennis Prager helped me get started in radio, he told me something I've never forgotten. He said, credibility is all you have, protect it. So I'm going to tell you why I chose Allegiance Gold. I sat across from Alex Epkarian, the owner of Allegiance Gold. We talked about family. You can discern a man's character by the way he talks about the people he loves. Alex is a former banker, so he understands the U.S. dollar and why you should own gold. When you work with Allegiance Gold, you see exactly what they pay and exactly what you pay. No games, just transparency. I'm a client of Allegiance Gold, and if you value trust the way I do, you should consider them too. Call Alex Epkarian at Allegiance Gold, 844-790-9191, 844-790-9191.
The Federal Reserve has just announced a change in leadership, and that could have a profound impact on the value of your retirement. That's why now, more than ever, you need Advantage Gold, the #1 precious metals company in America. Call Advantage Gold right now at 800-900-8000 and get your free Gold and Silver Investor Guide, a $49 value, plus a free copy of Ken Rogoff's latest book, Our Dollar, Your Problem, giving you powerful insight into the future of money, markets, and global currency trends. Our specialists can help you open a new account or transfer funds from an existing IRA, tax and penalty free. Markets are unpredictable and they can turn fast, but precious metals are a safe haven asset that stand the test of time and volatile market conditions. The question isn't if the next shift is coming, it's when. Are you positioned? Don't miss this opportunity. Call Advantage Gold now at 800-900-8000. Results may vary. Consult your financial advisor before investing. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000.
From the WMOH Weather Center this afternoon, we'll see clouds giving way to sunshine with a high 82. Clear tonight with a low 60. On Saturday, sunny with a high 85. Saturday night, showers and thunderstorms likely with a low 66. Showers and thunderstorms on Sunday with a high 79. Partly cloudy with a chance of showers Sunday night with a low 54. And mostly sunny on Monday with your high 75.
Now, back to
And now, all of the news you would probably miss. It's time for Dana's Quick Five.
So apparently now the ring girls outfits for UFC, they're red, white, and blue. And apparently they're trying to figure out whether or not they violate the flag code. You know, the Octagon girls, so they got red, white, and blue outfits. And the way that so they're saying, I mean, I don't see that as violating flag code. Because it says you can't use the flag as apparel, bedding, or drapery. And you can't use it as a part of like a costume and it's considered etiquette. It's not legally enforceable, but I'm looking at this. Now they'll have like a red striped like little skirt or blue with white stripes, but it's not like the whole flag, which then I would understand. I would say that's in bad taste. But the way that it's very cleverly done. Like if you have long blue gloves, that's not if you have a red corset and then like a blue, pair of blue shorts, come on. Those are the colors of the flag, but that's not wearing the flag. There is a difference there that apparently they're not wanting to, I don't know. I feel like they're just trying to get mad over anything that they possibly can, right? Anything that they possibly can. Moving on because we actually had all those. We also have, I guess Elon Musk is going to be a trillionaire. They soared SpaceX soared 25% of Wall Street debut, and Elon Musk is now the world's first trillionaire. The first trillionaire. I can't even imagine that type of money. Or all the good that I would do and some cruel vengeance that I would undertake. That's why the Lord's like, don't give her $1 trillion. Man alive. I told you what I do, right? Donate to my church, church, animal shelters, like women's shelters, orphan, all of that. But then also I would engage all my enemies in lawfare that made them all destitute and completely broken, hopeless. I would. I see, that's why it's not nice. Let's see. Algae is forming in the reflecting pool. It's a residual thing that they're still battling, but it's a lot better than what they had, right? And apparently the U.S. military, the rumor is that they're preparing a ground mission to capture Iran's uranium, but that was paused. We got Brad Thor coming up next. Stick with us. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness weren't just written for history books, they were written for you. It's hard to pursue happiness when pain becomes part of your everyday life. A lot of people just accept it, saying that it's a part of them getting older. It doesn't have to be when you choose Relief Factor. Relief Factor was created to help people address inflammation. That is the cause of daily aches and pains. It's 100% drug-free and research-based. No prescription, no masking symptoms, just real support so you can keep moving forward. It works through multiple metabolic pathways to help support comfort, mobility, mobility, and movement. As America celebrates 250 years of independence, maybe it's time to reclaim a little of your own. And to commemorate America's 250, Relief Factor is offering a special patriotic price of $17.76 for the 3-week quick start. Visit relieffactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF. That's relieffactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF for your 3-week quick start for only $17.76. Relief Factor, because freedom just feels better without pain.
1450 WMOH News. I'm Steve Vaughn. The Baden Rams are hoping to hoist the state championship trophy for the first time in 3 decades as they play Columbus Bishop Watterson for the Division III state title. First pitch 7 o'clock, broadcast time 6:35, right here on the ticket. The Butler County General Health District says a second rabid bat has been found in Butler County, this time in Westchester, after a possible case of human exposure. Looking for impaired drivers, the Butler County OVI Task Force is setting up a checkpoint in Westchester tonight. It will run 7:15 to 10 p.m. on US 42 northbound at Regal Lane. Lakota School District voters will decide the fate of another bond issue this fall. The 37-year, $233 million plan won't take effect until 2029. I'm Steve Vaughn.
This report is sponsored by Positive Coaching Alliance. Questions about youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit organization, develops better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. Info at positivecoach.org.
High School Tournament Baseball. Installed by AE Door and Window.
Taylor sliding into third, safe. Three-run triple, Chandler Taylor. And another runner's going to score. Keegan Sawyer with some heads-up base running. Swing and a miss. He got him. Caleb Treason has finished what he started. Baden Rams back in the state championship game.
Tonight, Baden plays for the Division III state championship. Coverage begins tonight at 6:35 on 1450 The Ticket and on WMOH.com.
Hospitals depend on skilled professionals to keep life-saving equipment running. From ventilators to x-ray machines, Cincinnati State provides the skills needed to maintain and repair this technology, making biomedical engineering a stable, high-demand career with strong salaries. The only program of its kind in the region offering paid co-op experience and nearly 100% job placement. With flexible evening classes and expert faculty, enroll today. Visit cincinnati-state.edu.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
The Carolina Hurricanes won Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final last night, 4-2. Carolina can win the Cup on Sunday night. Carolina scored 2 goals in the second period. Before last night, the Golden Knights have outscored the Canes 9-1 in the second period in this series. Carolina last won the Cup in 2006, and now they're 1 win away from lifting the Cup. Game 6 is Saturday night. I'm Chris Platt.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Wendy's new Biggie Deals lets you choose whatever you're in the mood for. It's like a music mixing board of deals, and you're the producer. Go with some chill folk music with a JBC in the $4 Biggie Bite snack. Try the drum and bass of deals with a double stack and a $6 Biggie bag. Or go full-on sandwich symphony with an $8 Biggie bundle, the grand finale of snacking. And the best part? They all come with napkins. $4, $6, and $8 Biggie Deals how you want them at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
This Father's Day at Lowe's, we have extra big deals for a very limited time, so you can get Dad the gift he's been wishing for. Get a free Select Craftsman, DeWalt, or Cobalt battery when you buy a Select Combo Kit. Plus, save $90 on a Cobalt 24-volt battery string trimmer and leaf blower combo kit. Now $129. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 6/15 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
From the WMOH Weather Center, clouds giving way to sunshine this afternoon with a high 82. Clear tonight with a low 60. Sunny on Saturday with a high 85. Saturday night, showers and thunderstorms likely late with a low near 66. Showers and thunderstorms likely on Sunday, high 79. Chance of showers early Sunday night with a low 54. And mostly sunny on Monday with a high 75.
This is Hugh Hewitt. Join me today at 3 on WMOH 1450 The Ticket.
Keep your finger on the pulse with the Dana Show podcast, delivering timely news with insightful analysis whenever you want, straight to you on YouTube, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to the program. Dana Lash with you. Always good to be with you. We're at the bottom of this third hour. I got to tell you, our next guest, longtime friend of mine, whenever I see the room that he's in, wherever he does his interviews, I have to do like a check on my own life and think, why do I not have an office like this? It is the best office I've ever seen in my life. And it is the best background I've ever seen. Go ahead and bring it. It's our very good friend, Brad Thor, New York Times best-selling author. My family are insane fans of his. And I am really downplaying the insane part of it. They love his stuff. My one cousin still talks about the time where I was at the range with Brad, and Brad was kind enough to talk to my cousin on the phone, and that to this day, everybody still talks about that. But he's got a brand new book out. He's got a Netflix series that's in development, and he's got the best office of anybody that we've ever seen. So welcome back to the program, my friend. So good to see you.
It's great to see you, Dana. Thanks for having me back.
Of course. And I want to get into Choke Point, which is the latest in your Scott Harvath series, and I want to get into the Netflix as well, because you and I talked about, adapting your stories into these series, which I think is going to be brilliant. But I wanted to kind of get, because you've worked with Department of Homeland Security, you've worked with law enforcement agencies, you have a deep understanding of foreign policy issues, especially considering everything that we've been dealing with. And so the big thing today is we are all wait and see what happens in Iran. Wait and see what happens. Is there a deal? Is there not a deal? Is there half-burnt, reportedly one-legged, gay Khamenei? Is he still alive? What's happening? Where is this going? How does this end? And where are you in all of this? What are you seeing? From your vantage point, Brad?
Well, so first of all, I have to say this. You'll remember very early on, probably was in the primaries or the general election back in 2016, where Trump was asked particularly about his value system and if he's ever asked God for forgiveness. And he said he has not, because he's never made a mistake that he needs to ask for forgiveness for. That right away was a big red flag in somebody that you would even consider electing as a leader, because it shows a lack of humility and a lack of self-awareness. Trump believed that the only reason Iran had not been dealt with previously is that presidents prior to Donald Trump didn't have the courage to go in and throw the full weight of the American military at Iran. And that's not why they didn't do it. They realized what a quagmire this would be. And now we're finding out every week Trump tells us it's a couple more days. They're dying to make a deal. We've got a deal. All this nonsense. I think Elon Musk begged him to back off so it didn't screw up the SpaceX IPO this afternoon. That's what I think happened. I think he wanted to clean the market up so that Musk could go ahead. I have no proof of that. That's just what I believe, seeing all the insider trading that's going on Cow Sheep, Poly Market, and all these bets that are being placed against the price of oil by Trump's administration, people in the administration and around Trump. I don't think you can believe a single word that comes out of this administration. It's much like Vietnam. I will bet you that the casualty rates are much higher than we've heard for American service members in that arena. And I think when the tale is finally told truthfully, we're going to find out how much we are lied to. So that's number one. Number two, what I think is stunning, Dana, is how far underwater Trump is quickly going with evangelicals. So 54% of evangelicals in the latest June 3rd to 8th Ipsos poll were against the war in Iran. And this is against 60% of Americans in total who are against the war in Iran. This is extremely unpopular, and it's lather, rinse, and repeat with Trump. Every week he tells us there's going to be a deal or he's going to bomb the heck out of them. And I just don't think that this administration has any credibility anymore. We shouldn't believe a single thing that comes out of the White House.
I always get nervous, and for those joining, we're talking with our friend Brad Thor, when any kind of military operation, I don't like when people start giving limitations or taking things off the table. I don't like when leaders talk too much about it. We saw a lot about this with Barack Obama. Everybody remembers with Iran. And I'm wondering, and we talked about this yesterday, when POTUS is discussing, potentially maybe boots on the ground with respect to Kharg Island specifically, if that is something, he said, well, I haven't ruled it out, but at the same time, during the campaign, as I reminded people, I'm like, he kind of boxed himself in a little bit with that. I think maybe in the beginning, Americans would have been more open to any kind of escalation, whether use of force or commitment of resources like our soldiers. But now, because, we're like 2 months into this, and that the Iranians, Brad, that they're not negotiating in good faith, nor will they ever. So what options does that leave us? And maybe that and the importance of not taking things off the table.
Listen, I am continually stunned and shocked at how bad the Trump administration is with public relations, with just bringing the American people on board. The first thing that Steve Bannon got Trump to do in the 1.0 administration was to go for the Muslim ban. And instead of saying this is a list of Muslim countries that was left to us by Barack Obama where they can't properly vet people getting on airplanes, and making it Obama's Muslim ban that Trump could have put into effect, which would have made it a very difficult thing to assail from the left and from the mainstream media, he just plowed right ahead with kind of red meat for his base.
Bannon's an idiot. He gives bad advice.
Yeah, well, very obvious. So the other problem we have here is that Trump had the State of the Union address where he could have made the case for Iran. You don't go to war and then convince your population why you are in a war. You convince your people why it's necessary before you go to war. And he blew it. It was just days before he went into or launched the operation with all the bombing and stuff. So it's been badly handled. And again, this comes because Trump has a lack of humility. Trump thinks he's smarter than everyone, in that he's the brightest guy and he's going to make all the decisions. He doesn't need to use Congress. He doesn't need to come to the American people and sell it. And now he's cratering in the polls. These midterms are going to be a bloodbath, and every Republican has only Donald Trump to blame for this.
I'm so nervous about midterms. Are we ever? Yeah. I've grown up. We've all grown up with Iran causing destabilization in the Middle East. I don't think that we will ever get any kind of goodwill gesture or serious negotiation from them. Do you?
No, and we miss opportunities to do so. And I will point backwards to, I know that they were trying to work out the JCPOA under the Obama administration, but when they had the Green Revolution in Iran, there were so many people in the streets. There was so much pushback. Iran was right on the edge of being tipped over. And had we committed to the people of Iran then, instead of trying to get this piece of paper done, and I get it, it allowed in inspectors and all that kind of stuff. There were actually good things that happened in the JCPOA, but Iran was so primed for it to topple over then. But that's in the background now. But remember, Trump told us total regime change, going to liberate the people of Iran, and that Donald Trump alone, was going to pick the next leader of Iran. That kind of hubris is not good in a leader. Trump is his own worst enemy, and by being his own worst enemy, he becomes one of America's worst leaders. This is not the kind of makeup you want in somebody leading our country. It's only going to lead us into more problems. We haven't even begun to feel the bite of the energy prices skyrocketing. That's coming. We're in for a lot of trouble.
And I kind of feel like we're living in the middle of, this sort of like asymmetrical pincer attack, for the lack of a better way to describe it, because you have Russia and you have China, and then you have the growing threat of Islamism. So you have this very real red-green alliance that's taking place, and kind of like looking towards the Pacific, which, by the way, I love that you were explaining the Strait of Malacca to all of your, because you did this great video on X. And I'm going to get to that in just a second, because nobody talks about that. Like, I rarely ever hear that choke point brought up. But with China and Russia and Islamism, doesn't it sort of feel like, America is getting hit on all sides right now. And we're a strong nation. I believe in unipolarity. I don't go with the Alexander Dugin multipolarity approach and all of that nonsense. I believe in America's strength. But I do worry about prosecuting this stuff in the court of public opinion, and that sort of like informational war of attrition that is happening. Your thoughts on that?
That's brilliant. I couldn't have phrased it any better myself.
Oh
When
my
people
gosh,
ask
cut
me,
that, and I'm going to put that on my tombstone because Brad Thor just said that about me.
if anybody asks me what our greatest weakness is on from a national security standpoint, I tell them it's the popular culture. It is social media. We are being influenced by the Russians, the Iranians, the North Koreans, and the Chinese. They want us at each other's throats. I don't want it to take another 9/11 to bring us all together as Americans. We have so much that we have in common and more that unites us. But right now, anybody who doesn't vote exactly the way we do is our enemy. And anybody who votes exactly like me, I trust them implicitly, even down to the point that I don't check what they're telling me. And that's dangerous. So those nations, before we even get into a hot war with them, are winning a very chilly culture war because they're pressing on all of our fault lines, all of our fractures, and turning us more against each other. So if you're angry about something, instead of being angry, take a breath and say, who profits from me being angry right now?
That's exactly it. So your book, you get into this strait in the South Sea that nobody actually, I mean, I've heard it before. If I'm, listening to like C-SPAN, I'll hear some people talk about it. This is incredibly important. And you actually dive into all of this. And for the folks who don't know this, his series, the Scott Harvath series, Choke Point, number one New York Times, best-selling, Wall Street Journal. I mean, it's number one every time he drops a book. It's number one. But you actually, in your series, this plays an important role. For those who are unfamiliar with the significance of this strait and the importance it has to China's trade and their economy, talk a little bit about this.
So this Choke Point is a thriller. I tell people my books are like the James Bond movies. If you've never seen a Bond movie and the new one's out, you can go to the theater and see it. You could start with this Brad Thor book, Choke Point. But the idea behind it is that China realizes that the U.S. Navy controls one of the most strategic choke points in the world, and that's the Strait of Malacca. And that's where 80% of China's crude oil imports flow through there, and 2/3 of its trade, its maritime trade, go through this choke point. And if the U.S. closes it off in a time of war, China's dead. There's no way China can win. So in my thriller, China has tricked the U.S. into thinking they're going to go into Taiwan, and they launch something completely different, take the U.S. completely by surprise. And then, of course, my protagonist, Scott Harvath, America's top spy, has to unravel it and prevent it before China can deliver the ultimate coup de grace, which will bring America to its knees.
Yeah, and the scary thing about this is that it's so, like, you really toe the line on all of the current events. And that's what makes it seem so real. Like honestly, I think you actually help people have a better understanding of foreign policy because of the way that you explore these issues and the context in which you put it in. Because think about it, we've been dealing this with China and Taiwan. We've done military exercises. They've done these, tests of our military strength in a potential war game. And the United States struggles. And I think it's because of strategy, resource, and maybe underestimating the moves that they would make.
Absolutely. And if there's one thing we are learning is that our weapon systems, so many of them can't handle the future of warfare. We've been building weapons that are not meant for the modern battlefield. Now that we see what's happened with Ukraine and the drones, and the Chinese are just
legacy contracts, these stupid legacy contracts that we have.
Yep.
Sorry,
and so that's a big problem. No. But you're right on the money, and we need to push ahead, and we need to push ahead with serious defense contracts that make sense. It's Trump's kids through a golf course company now have a drone company, and they won a huge contract with the Department of Defense. I don't want the future of our national security based upon whether Eric and Don can build drones. So we need to get a lot more serious than we have been in this country. National security is one of my biggest issues, one of the things I care the most about. I don't care who's in the White House. I just care they're doing everything to keep the nation safe, Republican or Democrat.
Well, you're a patriot. My good friend Brad Thor, BradThor.com, his new book, Choke Point, a thriller, the latest in his series. Always so good to have you, my friend. You're always welcome back. And love your office. I'm just going to fly out to Dallas and have you decorate mine. God bless you, my friend. Good to see you.
All right, you too, Dana.
Take care.
Bye.
We have more to come, folks, as we wrap up this third hour of the program, and we can't do it without the awesome people who make it possible, like the folks over at Superbeads. Now, Superbeads, the company that owns them, it's the whole company, everything that they do, Texas-based, right? Everything, Superbeads, the company human, it's based like actually out in Hill Country. Very good conservative, Christian conservative people, by the way. It's all based in science. Now, they have a new product out that focuses on, get this, cholesterol. Because cholesterol is not, it's not the enemy, right? It actually plays a very important role. Good cholesterol, HDL, plays a very important role in cellular health, hormone production, even vitamin D creation. And the goal is about supporting the right balance, especially with those HDL levels. So Cholesterol Health Daily uses plant-based ingredients that are backed by clinical studies. So you get a smarter, more targeted way to support your cholesterol. And these clinically studied ingredients, by the way, aged black garlic extract, that helps to improve HDL levels by up to 11.5% with zero garlic taste. And they also have a patented Italian citrus bergamot extract. That helps to maintain healthy triglycerides and overall lipid metabolism. It's simple, it's effective. Guys, it's 2 capsules a day, but you're getting multi-action cholesterol support. So it's super easy to stay consistent with us. And right now, for a limited time, you can save $5 on Humans Cholesterol Health Daily at Sam's Club. Just head to your local Sam's Club. Do more to support your cholesterol health with the Science First brand that you can trust. The $5 savings won't last long.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. What's worse than summer heat? Trying to sleep on a mattress that turns into a sauna every single night. So if you're waking up sweaty and kicking the covers off and flipping your pillow over for the cool side, it's your mattress trapping the heat. So that's why I love Ghost Bed, because I notice the difference almost immediately. It's just better temperature regulation, less tension. You don't wake up feeling stiff and sore. And the cooling technology is built into every mattress. It's not some ridiculous upcharge. Some of Ghost Bed's happiest customers are hot sleepers. I mean, just check out the reviews. Life is too short to spend another summer sleeping badly. Ghost Bed gives you 101 nights to try it at home. And if you don't like it, they offer free returns. So that means you can sleep on it all summer long and decide for yourself. And if you don't feel the difference, you just send it back. Ghost Bed is offering my audience an extra 10% off. So visit ghostbed.com/Dana and use promo code Dana. Life is too short to spend another summer sleeping badly. So visit ghostbed.com/Dana. That's ghostbed.com/Dana, promo code Dana for 10% off. This is Dana Lash. We'll be right back on WMOH 1450, The Ticket.
We've got a country to save.
Larry Elder.
Democrats never cease to amaze. James Talarico, the Democrat candidate for Senate in Texas, the one who said there are 6 genders, guess what he now says? There are just 2 genders. What happened to the other 4? And Tim Kaine, who said our rights don't come from God, got hammered and then said, oh, I know our rights come from God. But you just said...
The Larry Elder Show.
Join me weekday evenings at 6 on WMOH 1450 The Ticket.
Mark your calendar for June 13th through the 21st for the Friendship Flea Market. The Friendship Flea Market is very unique with nearly 500 vendor spaces selling a wide variety of new, used, primitives, and specialty foods. Bring the whole family. Roads are blacktopped and are stroller and wheelchair accessible. Admissions free, parking $3, and camping is available. Located in Friendship, Indiana on State Road 62, just a mile east of town. Call 812-667-5645 or visit friendshipfleamarket.com.
Our founders believed that freedom wasn't just a word, it was a way of life. Larry Elder here. The freedom to move forward, the freedom to pursue what matters most, the freedom to live fully. But pain has a way of taking those freedoms away. That's why Relief Factor exists. I've been taking Relief Factor for a number of years, and I do not miss a day without taking it. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free, research-based supplement designed to help support a healthy inflammatory response, addressing pain at its source, not just covering it up. Over 1 million Americans have tried Relief Factor, and about 2/3 go on to order more. So this year, as we celebrate 250 years of freedom, ask yourself a simple question. Are you living with the freedom you deserve? Relief Factor gives you the opportunity to live pain-free and get back to the life you love. To commemorate our country's birth, we're offering a special patriotic price, just $17.76. so you can celebrate your freedom from pain. Your 1776 3-week quick start is ready for you. Visit ReliefFactor.com. That's ReliefFactor.com, or call 800-4-RELIEF, 800-4-RELIEF.
This is your ticket to high school football.
Grayson up the middle and into the end zone. Touchdown. Lem Grayson runs over the defense. He takes it right up the middle.
Basketball.
Dakota East can take their first lead here with 3. Oh, got it. Bowman from way downtown. A star is born.
And baseball.
Swung on, ripped to right field. Going back is Gallus looking up, and he caught it on the warning track. What a catch by Gallus.
WMOH 1450, The Ticket.
From the WMOH Weather Center this afternoon, we'll see clouds giving way to sunshine with a high 82. Clear tonight with a low 60. On Saturday, sunny with a high 85. Saturday night, showers and thunderstorms likely with a low 66. Showers and thunderstorms on Sunday with a high 79. Partly cloudy with a chance of showers Sunday night with a low 54. And mostly sunny on Monday with your high 75.
Now, back to Dana Lash.
Subscribe on YouTube, Apple, or wherever you get your podcast.
Welcome back. Yeah, I love Brad Thor, and I've known Brad for a long time, and he has a really good heart and is a very good dude. He's not a Trump fan, but he loves America. So I give him, we're not always going to agree on everything, but you know how I operate. I'm like, you love America, you want to be free, you want to save the republic, let's rock. And he gives no quarter to Islamism or any of that, which I also like. You're never going to agree with everybody on everything. I get it. And sometimes, somebody's dislike might make it harder for you to see their point. But don't rob yourself of having a deeper perspective, though. I know it's hard sometimes. I know. One quick thing. So POTUS was saying that the Iranian negotiators, very dishonorable people. I can't do his voice. That's how he said it. But Vance was saying that, the deal has the potential to remake the region and lead to lasting peace. You're seeing the daylight between them. I wonder if that's contributing to the fact that this is dragging on so much. When your number two is like, well, we could have peace if we... that's assuming a lot of a crazy, rabid, theocratic regime that hates us. Just saying. That's kind of a lot. So we'll keep an eye on this. And if anything does pop off, obviously, that we'll be X or Facebook, and you can also find stuff over at Substack, chapter and verse. In the meantime, because I really robbed you the other day and I'm trying to make up for it, and I know I don't want to rob you now, today in Stupidity Can.
Well, we do have time to actually do the little bit longer one. I think cut 18. This is Buttigieg. He talks about the Electoral College. I think he misses the point here, but listen.
The radical, and let's talk one more radical proposition on the executive branch. What if everybody's vote counted the same?
It does.
What if everybody's vote just counted the same for president?
It does.
Just to get here, I started my day in northern Michigan, drove through Indiana, and came here to the south side of Chicago. So 3 states. I started my day in a swing state, came through a place in Indiana where voters' voices basically do not matter in presidential politics because the state is so Republican. And now we sit in a place where voters' voices mostly don't matter in presidential politics because the state is so Democratic. As if how could anything
So you can flip the script on that as far as a blue state is.
Yeah.
Well, this is the dumbest, I don't even know what to call it. I was going to say like speech, but it looked like a rehearsed sort of script about where Democrats would love to be able to go after all of what they've been through.
Yeah, exactly.
But good luck.
Yeah, good luck with that. Poot booty juice. Can you imagine? Like, Vice President Booty Juice? Oh my gosh, what if that is... Okay, save for Monday. What if it's Newsom and Booty Juice? I'm so sorry, guys. Find X and Facebook, find the YouTube, like and subscribe, podcast. Have a great weekend. God love you. Back with you Monday.
1450, The Ticket.
Don't get caught letting your furnace or air conditioner break down during temperature extremes. Your system needs to operate efficiently at all times. Butler County Mechanical Services is your dependable neighborhood heating and cooling company, offering reliable 24-hour service 7 days a week. And be sure to ask about their annual maintenance contract. That's Butler County Mechanical Services. Call them for your heating and air conditioning system tune-up or repair.
892-1444. 892-1444.
Have you recently opened a brand new business and want to get the word out that you're open? Have an existing business and looking to increase profitability? Or are you looking to staff your new or existing business with employees? This is where WMOH Radio can be of help to you. Advertise your business to reach WMOH Radio's local and loyal listeners with your message that your business is open and ready to serve or looking for workers. Give us a call, 513-863-1111, and let us put the power of locally owned and operated 1450 WMOH Radio go to work for you.
This is your ticket to Miami University Sports. WMOH, Hamilton, Fairfield, Westchester, Cincinnati. 1450 The Ticket.
News this hour at Town Hall. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. With the United States and Iran moving towards signing a new agreement to end the current war, one Republican on Capitol Hill is saying he wants to see the fine print before any deal is finalized. On the Salem News program This Week on Capitol Hill with Tony Perkins, U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina is concerned that initial reports say the agreement would allow so-called civilian enrichment of uranium to continue.
If there's any enrichment program allowed in the Trump deal, if they can enrich anywhere for any reason, that's a bad deal in my view. They will cheat after Trump leaves. So there's a lot of details to be fleshed out. But Israel's concerned, and quite frankly, I am too. I hope for a good deal. I pray for a good deal. But if it's not a good deal, I will say so.
Senator Graham's full interview will be heard when This Week on Capitol Hill is broadcast beginning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow on the Salem News Channel. More on the likely end of the war from White House correspondent Willie Nelson.
President Trump is discussing why he believes Iran is now more willing to reach an agreement.
They got hit very hard recently, as you know, and I don't like to have to do things that way, but I felt it was necessary. It's a great deal for the United States and for the Middle East, and I think ultimately great for Iran because they'll be able to build up their country and their country.
Willie Nelson, the White House.
A major spectacle on the White House lawn this weekend is taking shape.
A temporary arena called The Claw is expected to seat about 4,000 people for the 7 UFC fights being staged Sunday on the White House lawn to celebrate the 80th birthday of President Donald Trump and the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence.
And that is Donna Warder reporting on Wall Street, a booming session so far. The Dow Jones Industrial Average up 374 points at this hour. The NASDAQ up about 59. More from townhall.com.
Hey, I'm Kirk Cameron. Is health insurance eating up your budget for 2026? If you're looking for ways to better steward your finances, consider this: Christian Healthcare Ministries. It's a health insurance alternative at half the cost. Join CHM today by visiting chministries.org/wellness. While insurance companies tell you when to join, what to pay, and where to go, CHM is different. As a ministry, CHM allows you to share the burden of medical bills with other Christians. You can enroll, switch programs, or leave at any time. Christian Healthcare Ministries. It's a world of difference. CHM has 4 flexible programs. You can pick any certified doctor, surgeon, or hospital that you want for eligible care. So make the switch. Take your paycheck back from health insurance this year. Join CHM today by visiting chministries.org/wellness. That's chministries.org/wellness.
1450 WMOH News. I'm Steve Vaughn. The Baden Rams play for a state title tonight when they take on Columbus Bishop Watterson. First pitch, 7 o'clock at 717 Credit Union Park in Akron. They beat Parma Padua Franciscan 5-2 Thursday in the Division III semifinal in Canton. A second rabid bat has been found in Butler County. The General Health District says the bat was found in Westchester after a possible case of human exposure. An OVI checkpoint is planned for Butler County tonight. It will run 7:15 to 10 p.m. on US 42 northbound at Regal Lane in Westchester. Duke Energy says last night's storms knocked out power to more than 8,200 customers in the tri-state. Butler County was under a severe thunderstorm warning, but the storm had lost much of its punch by the time it crossed the state line. I'm Steve Vaughn.
High school tournament baseball, installed by AE Door and Window.
Swing and a miss. He got him. Caleb Dreesen has finished what he started.
Tonight, Baden plays for the Division III state championship. Coverage begins tonight at 6:35 on 1450 The Ticket.
Looking for a fun, rustic place to hang out with a classic honky-tonk feel to it? You have found it at the Bearded Saddle Saloon. Under new ownership, the Bearded Saddle Saloon features homemade specials for lunch and dinner, plus line dancing on Wednesdays, open mic Thursdays, DJ and karaoke on Fridays, live music on Saturdays, and Sundays, delicious breakfast. The Bearded Saddle Saloon is on 2 acres with beer garden and outdoor picnic area on State Route 73 at US Route 127, just minutes east of Miami University in Oxford. Your entertainment destination, it's the Bearded Saddle Saloon.
Northbound 471, the off-ramp to westbound Fort Washington Way is blocked off. That's due to a disabled vehicle on that ramp. Northbound 7175 at US 42 in Florence, there's an accident, 25-minute delay from Mount Zion Road. I'm Eddie Zelek with traffic.
Sponsored by Compassion International. Compassion sponsorship means food, healthcare, education, and most of all, being known, loved, and protected. There are thousands of kids waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Text the word radio to 83393.
For tonight, clear skies with patchy fog by morning. Overnight low 59. Tomorrow, patchy fog giving way to sunny skies with a high 86. For tomorrow night, showers, possibly a thunderstorm, low 66. Stay tuned for high school baseball, the state championship game. Moeller versus St. X, scheduled airtime 3:45. Then Baden versus Bishop Watterson, scheduled airtime 6:35 on 1450 The Ticket.
Today, Moeller plays St. Xavier in the Division I state championship. Scheduled airtime 3:45 on WMOH 1450 The Ticket.
In a time of division and distrust, clarity matters more than ever. This is where common sense meets conviction. This is the Hugh Hewitt Show.
Morning, glory, and evening, grace, America. I'm Hugh Hewitt. It's going to be quite a weekend of news, especially on the Iran-U.S. MOU front. I spent time Friday with a senior administration official getting briefed about this, as did many other journalists of the Beltway Department. More on that later. I begin, however, with John Ellis, editor-in-chief of News Items, because this weekend brings us news from across the world, including in Switzerland. John, I did not know this until you told me. Switzerland